Hello students. In previous video we have discussed about the plants around us and we have completed the lesson. Today we will discuss the worksheet and the question answers of this lesson. Now here is the first question, that is fill in the blanks. Now plants growing on hills are tall, straight and have a dash shape. So the special feature of the plants of hill are they are tall, straight, and what else? What is the shape of plants of hills? Yes, they have conical shape. And we have discussed that why they are of this conical shape, because this shape does not allow snow to get deposited on them. Now dash and dash are two of the trees that grow on plains. That means you have to write the examples or the name of the two trees that grow in plains. So very easy, you can write any two trees that grow in plains. So you can write mango tree, or you can write any other tree, that is banyan or peepal tree, any tree that grow in plains. Now next is breathing roots are also called dash roots. So we have discussed the roots of mangroves. They come out from the water for breathe the fresh air, take the fresh air. So what we call them? So breathing roots are also called aerial roots. Yes, aerial roots. Now dash is an underwater plant. So here you have to give the example or the name of a plant that grow underwater. So hydrilla. Hydrilla is a plant that grow underwater. A lotus stem is eaten as we have discussed, that we eat the lotus stem as a vegetable. Now next question will be is match the following. Now you have to match, two columns are given and you have to match these. Now first is your evergreen tree. So here the different types of trees are given. That is evergreen trees. You have to find out which one is evergreen tree out of these. So rice, no. Cactus, no. Mangrove, no. Aquatic plants, no. Evergreen trees. Rubber and teak, yes. Rubber and teak are the trees that grow in hot and wet regions, and they are evergreen trees. So we can match them, or we can write number. Next is your needle-like leaves. We know that the plants that grow on hills have needle-like leaves. So out of these, which plant or tree grow on hills? So rice, no. Cactus, no. Mangrove, no. Aquatic plant, no. Rubber and teak we have already marked. Then pine and cedar. So yes, pine and cedar have needle-like leaves, and they also grow in on the hills. Now no leaves, so you have to tell the plant which have no leaves. So we have already discussed that the plant that grow in desert areas have no leaves. So which one out of these grow in desert area? That is cactus. Yes, so cactus have spines instead of leaves. Next is your breathing roots, and breathing roots are in mangroves because they grow in marshy areas, and there they do not get sufficient oxygen, so they come out from the water to breathe. So breathing root, mangroves. Now air-filled cavities. Air is filled in the cavities which make them light and help them to float on the water. So air-filled cavities is in the aquatic plant which helps them to float on the water. Next is your cultivated crop. Only one option is left, that is rice, so that is a cultivated crop. So we match it, or to remove the confusion, what we can do, we can write the numbers over here. Second is your needle-like leaf, we can write 2. No leaves, third number. Breathing roots, 4th. Air-filled cavities, 5th. Then cultivated crop is 6th. So move to the next question. Here is tick the correct options. Now multiple choice questions. It is a free floating plant. So out of these 4 plants, you have to find out which one is free floating plant. That means aquatic plant. Water hyacinth, hydrilla, coconut, lotus. So here lotus is not a terrestrial plant. It does not grow in water. Now what is left? Water hyacinth, hydrilla and lotus. So here hydrilla is underwater plant, lotus is attached to the pond bed. Only water hyacinth that floats on water, that is free floating plant. Next is these are unwanted plants. So what we call the unwanted, undesirable plants that grow in the field. Cactus, no. Grass, mangroves and weeds. Yes, so weeds are the unwanted plants that grow with our crops. Now it can survive in soil with very little water. So we know banyan tree grows in plains, teak, rubber grow in hot and wet regions, cactus that grow in desert, and in desert we get very little water. So here is cactus is the answer. Now answer the following question in brief. What are terrestrial plants? So you know the plants that grow on land are called terrestrial plants. Next is how does the conical shape help the plants of hills? As we have discussed many times that the conical shape of plants of hills does not allow snow to get deposited on them. So in this way, the conical shape helps the plants of hills. Next is name two trees growing in hot and wet region. Very easy question. You have to name on two trees, that is rubber and teak. Now name an underwater plant. You can easily name the underwater plant that we have already also done in Phillips. Hydrilla is an underwater plant. What kind of leaves does it have? So it has pointed and strap-like leaves. Now what is plowing? Plowing? Yes. The digging and loosening of soil with the help of plow is called plowing. So we have also discussed that with the help of plow or with the help of tractor we can plow the fields, and in that we dig the soil, loosen it and make it soft. Next is you have to answer the following questions. List the different habitats of terrestrial plants. Now the different habitats I have already discussed. The living thing where it is comfortable or where it lives is called the habitat. So you have to list the different habitats of terrestrial plants. That means plants that grow on land. The different areas of land you have to tell. So they are hills, plains, hot and wet regions, desert, marshy areas. So these are the different habitats of terrestrial plants. How is cactus plant able to grow in desert conditions? What are the special features of cactus that help them to grow in desert conditions that you have to tell? So as we have discussed that cactus have green stems and they have a well developed roots and they store water in their stem, and also they have spines instead of leaves. So these are some special features, or you can say that these help the cactus plant to grow in desert conditions because their stem stores the water. Secondly, their roots are well developed, very long roots which can absorb water from the soil, deep under the soil, and spines instead of leaves, which does not allow water to get waste. Next is your what are aquatic plants? So we all know aqua means water. So aquatic plant means the plants that grow in water are called aquatic plants. State their types and give two examples of each. So we have already discussed they are of two types mainly, that is floating aquatic plant, or second is underwater aquatic plant, and then floating is again have of two types, that is free floating and fixed aquatic plants. So we can give the examples. Free floating, that is duckweed, and fixed aquatic plants, water lily and lotus, and then the underwater aquatic plant, that is hydrilla. So in this way you can give the examples. Now what are cultivated plants? Cultivated plants are the plants that are grown by the farmers in their field. Okay, now why should weeds be removed from the field? Very easy question. Because weeds take the water and fertilizers of the crops, so we have to remove them. So you can see these question answers and worksheet from the website in assignment section, and our chapter is finished. Thank you.